All right, guys. So we're going to be doing the second part of the feedback and advice session, focus on promoting your professional brand. Let's allow some people to get right in this call or right in this presentation while we get started. All right, guys. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I'll give it, let's say, two. Last time I gave five, just to let some people come in. But either way, I sent over a newsletter with an interactive demo of the stuff that we covered last time for those that are in context. For those that are not, I will definitely do this recap during this presentation so that you guys are fully involved on the topic, right? All right, guys. So it's showtime. So, guys, my name is David Manjura. I'm currently working for Cloudtest as demand generation. I'll give you the quick introduction like I did last time. This topic is going to be focused on promoting your professional brand. The idea here is that you don't only use LinkedIn to share the stuff you're doing, but also share the things that your company is doing, right? You want to leverage both. So I'm going to do a quick recap of the stuff that we talked last time so that you guys are in context. Let me go ahead and share my screen. This is the feedback and advice session. This is going to be the part two. I wanted to cover both sessions last time, but it wasn't enough time in an hour. But I know in this session, we'll be able to cover not only the recap, but also the other stuff that I got for you guys. So just to give you guys some refresher, the idea here was to learn how to increase visibility and credibility in your LinkedIn profile. The idea is that you can potentially monetize your audience. So the topics that we spoke last time, it was what is my opportunity. So what is my opportunity entitles and what's really going on in LinkedIn where I can definitely stand out, right? So we talked about the fact that only 30% of profiles are completed. This includes banners, profile picture, headline, about me, contact information. I also share that of there's only 1% of creators across all social channels, right? And there is 2% of companies that are posting daily on LinkedIn. I also share that LinkedIn is the only social media channel that allows you to filter explicit data um, and inappropriate content. So that means that it allows you to see exactly where people work, what problems you can solve for them, and the problems that they solve, right? And how you can definitely offer something compelling so that you can support them, right? If your service or product aligns. So this is a quick uh, gift that represents, taking this into account, I can now use this as an opportunity to start promoting my content, right? I shared some of the success from last session, which is I received 9,000% increase in impressions. I went from 5 to 275 profile views. I went 3.25 increase on referral income, right? So for those that are not aware, we do have a referral program in the Cloudtest Marketplace where you can refer candidates. And for each candidate that gets hired, you get a one-time fee of $100 where you'll have it on either your PayPal, Stripe, or whatever authorized payment method that you have according to your country. Um, there is some resources that you can take advantage. I am building something a lot more soothing for you guys to actually grab the resources, start promoting. So that's something that I have as my promise after this call. Um, I went from 800 to 2,800 increase in affiliate income. This was, as you can see, it went from 2002 to 2023, 2022, sorry, to 2023, right? It's funny because you can actually see the exact amount of clicks, and you can see that there's more signups. There's 3.25% increase on the income. So another topic that we talked about is how do I start promoting my professional brand? The first is that I started with was engaging banner. You know, your banner, the idea is I highlight some of the things you talk about, the topics you're inspired or passionate about. The ones that I talk the most is remote work. I also talk about affiliate marketing. I also talk about B2B lead generation. That involves a lot of tools, a lot of methodologies or creators that are giving you a lot of tools or a lot of stuff for you to also try yourself. So sometimes I like to pick things from other creators to share it in my audience so you guys can apply it as well, give it a try, and complement your current sales process. I talked about the headline. Um, you want to make sure that there's something compelling to the target audience and pretty much the outcome you're willing to deliver for them, right? In this case, I want to make sure that people can make an informed hiring decision so that whenever they're browsing through candidates in Latin America, they have a place to watch videos, get some information for them to kind of get more confident on the decision they want to make. The profile picture, this time I do have a little bit more of a shape up or a haircut, however you want to call it. So it looks a little bit more like me. About me, I talked about, you know, how to create a compelling about me where it kind of highlights your current job, what are you currently doing, or what is going on in the market where uh, based on whatever's going on, how you complement or support. So in this case, I talked about the fact that buyers are they prefer online search and decision making before they request direct sales interaction. So I kind of pitch, not kind of pitch, but I kind of share what's going on in the market and how we can help, right? So if you guys are aware, the Cloud Test Marketplace allows you to streamline your payments. It allows you to get comprehensive vendor insights, and it also gives sellers an increased visibility so that they can stand out and be found by hiring companies. And a quick CTA that kind of introduce people, hey, you know, if this is compelling with you, it makes sense for us to connect, whether you're a business, whether you're a candidate, so on. I talked about the contact information. The main thing that I highlighted here is don't make it a maze for people to find you. Try to make sure you have your information as accurate as possible. This involves your emails. This involves your URL. I also shared a quick example of how to make your URL easy to find. Sometimes LinkedIn gives you a predefined URL, and the idea is that you can actually grab that URL and customize it in a way that is easier for people to find you, right? So my name is Dave Ventura. If you look at my link, it actually matches the stuff that I'm trying to talk about. It matches my name, sorry. I talked about how I can stand out. One of the things that I mentioned was the persona verification. This is persona, I believe, is for Latin America. When it comes to the United States, I think it's called Clear, if I'm not mistaken. And I also share the benefits of having that in your profile, right? LinkedIn does mention that you can get profile views up to 60%, comment and reactions 50%, direct messages 30%. And of course, it all depends on the value you have to offer, right? Because if you just have the shield, but then again, you don't have something compelling to offer, you're not really going to benefit of the stats, right? Um, the idea is that it complements what you currently have. So make sure you take care of the initial things first, creating a compelling offer, having a process in place that makes sense, and then obviously having the shield is going to complement. The thing that I also mentioned was exporting your context, right? If LinkedIn only allows 20% of your audience to see your content, you want to be able to go extract your data, look for the people that you were connected with from the beginning, and most likely they're going to be able to support you. Um, the idea is that you make a compelling message, let them know, hey, we've been connected for this amount of time. Maybe if there's a need on XYZ that I can support you in. And, you know, the person has probably seen all your trajectory. So there's a higher chance or a better chance for them to actually get access to you and your content, right? That way we can go around the algorithm, right? If LinkedIn only shows 20%, you want to make sure 80% of the people that are in your network actually see the stuff you publish. I also share about the fact that you want to document your content. For me, it kind of benefits in two different ways. One, not only do I keep track of the stuff that I'm publishing, but it also allows me to, whenever I get feedback from my teammates or whenever I get feedback from people outside of my team, I can easily apply that, whether if it's not too much on the image because the image is already published, but more on the copy, right? More on the comment section. If I want to drop a CTA, if I want to drop something for people to see, It allows me to make those modifications, and let's say the week after, I can go ahead and re-release the content, and the message become a lot more clear, more concise, and more targeted to my audience. So one thing I wanted to recap on is repurpose your content, right? No one knows you exist. 80% of the audience have not seen it. So they might not see a text post. They might not see a video, image. They probably haven't seen an article. So you want to make sure that you bring that content alive, right? So today we're going to be focusing on the part two. I promised a few things that I wanted to share. Uh, Before I get to that, I do want to show you guys something that I did on the newsletter. For those that received it, I want to give you a quick walkthrough of the things that I spoke about so that it kind of makes sense to the stuff you guys are seeing right now. So bear with me 1 second. Okay. All right, guys. So as you guys, the ones that did subscribe are the ones that actually went over the newsletter. The idea is that you guys get a taste of what happened, right? Obviously, as far as to invite you to the next feedback session, which is this one, but also to share what we previously touched on previous session, right? So let me just read it. For those who missed the Promote Your Professional Brand Part 1, we created an interactive demo to show you what we covered in the previous section in minutes for you to catch up, right? So if I go ahead and click here, you will see this. So your LinkedIn success formula, improve your profile in minutes. If you click OK, it's going to start zooming into things that we definitely spoke about in last session, right? So designing an engaging banner, use a high quality image that reflects your interest and the topics you discussed. Include your company logo and a call to action. The image, choosing the right profile picture, ensure that the photo is well lit with your face clearly visible and centered. I also added the pixels, so you guys take that into account whenever you're creating your images. Um, this is something that definitely helps a lot. You're talking to people, right? People want to feel like they're talking to other people, right? I know everything is going very viral and very focused on AI, but people want to see that they're talking to a human behind the conversation. One of the things that I also mentioned, craft the headline. I did made some changes on the headline. I'll read it for you. I help companies make informed hiring decisions with revenue operation talent, primarily from Latin America. You can click or tab book an appointment to shortlist best fit candidates in minutes instead of weeks. I also added our G2 Crowd rating. We have a rating of 4.9 out of 5 within 167 reviews. So that's something I wanted to highlight, and that's also something I recommend. Describe who you help, uh, and how you help them achieve their goals, right? Include a call to action, achievements, or your passions. I also included the maximum character length, which is 220 characters, so that you also take that into account in case you want to talk more about your things, etc. Right? Submit accurate contact information. So that's the same one I told you. Update your contact information to make it easier for people to reach you. The idea here is that you include your most updated email address, the one that you use directly in your company, the phone number. This could be the one you use for your dialer, or it could be the one you use for your personal. The idea is that it's business. If you're trying to pitch your professional brand, if it's personal, then you can include your WhatsApp, you can include your personal number. That's on you, right? Whether you have a landing page, a one pager, whatever it is, you can also include it in here, as well as your company website. Uh, this is one of the main things that people see whenever they see you posting content and you're not connected with them is the banner, the headline, the picture, and also the contact information. So I could reach out to you via email or whatever information you display. One of the things that I also wanted to mention is preparing and cultivating about me. So this is basically similar to the one I had. So we can go ahead and skip that, but I do want to give you some insight is discuss your previous experience and how you currently help others. Include your current role, skills, beliefs, and an invitation to connect. I also include the amount of characters that you can use is 2,600. So you can take that into account. I haven't seen an about me that long. But if you do have something, if you have a lot of achievements, if you have a lot of compelling things you want to share, feel free to add those in there, right? Um, Highlighting your certifications, that's something that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to skip this quick. I don't want to spoil it. Um, and then I kind of give a quick pop-up notification letting you know if you list your certifications and skills, you get to increase your visibility in search results for recruiters or for companies that are seeking for a specific capabilities. Right. This also helps you build credibility, garner endorsements, and not only from your clients but also from your colleagues and employees. So that's something that we're going to talk about. We're also going to be talking about how to properly display your previous role information so that people get a feel. This goes especially for recruiters if they want to kind of see what kind of role you played, what kind of things you delivered on, and your overall trajectory, so that they see that okay, so if this person started as a customer support, now he's trying to go for an SDR, now he's going for a manager, now he's managing a whole department. It kind of gives the companies a better idea of considering you just for the simple fact that you've been in those roles before, so you know how to put yourself in people's shoes. If I guess that's how you say it. Provide concise and result-focused descriptions to demonstrate your expertise and conduct a professional narrative that makes your profile an engaging showcase of your career journey. I also included the maximum character limit, which is 2,000. I also added the fact that you can access your newsletters. There's a few newsletters that I like. In this example, I used the one for CloudTask, where it's weekly 10. This newsletter is mostly focused on 10 candidates that are ready to be hired, ready to be interviewed, that you can consider in case you're a hiring company, right? So newsletters offer valuable insights, helping you stay informed and maintain a competitive edge in your industry. So as if you put an example is if you're consuming articles outside of LinkedIn, now LinkedIn allows you to also view the articles while you're prospecting, while you're just creating content. So it's also good to follow some key newsletters on LinkedIn that can definitely help. It has helped me tons, not only to create more content, but to get better at modeling content that I see, and maybe I can add my unique input. We're going to talk about the feature section. I know last time I gave a quick overview of the feature section, but I didn't kind of cover it as much as I wanted. But here, notice how I added few of the interactive demos that you guys are seeing right now, right? One of them is how to find remote candidates in less than a minute. So it's basically the same experience I'm showing you here, but for buyers that are looking and considering candidates. I added the newsletters as well. I have 3 newsletters that I'm managing right now. There are over 90,000 people that are within those 3 newsletters. One is delivered every Tuesday, one is delivered every Wednesday, and one is delivered every Friday. So for those that are looking to get information about revenue operations, those that are looking to see the latest jobs that we have available, or those that want to see their own profiles listed in the weekly 10, you can also see here to see if your profile actually made it there. So it becomes a little bit more interesting, right? I'm also going to talk about customer testimonials and case studies. So if you do have a gallery on your YouTube or stored in your Google Drive, just hiding in there, take them out, showcase them. It'll attract more buyers. It'll attract more people. You'll stand out more as an authority because as you can see, there's a lot of people here that are very important in this field. So if your service or product is similar, it's going to attract people that have look-alike companies and look-alike founders or CEOs or C-level that can also benefit from the stuff you're offering. So displaying customer testimonials and case studies help you build trust and demonstrate your capability to deliver results. These endorsements help you attract potential clients, partners by highlighting your success. So it's very straightforward. You don't have to do too much on the description. It's just adding the image or adding the post where you showcase that case study. We're also going to be talking about how to showcase your services. For those that are offering online services such as coaching, lead generation, email marketing, this is a great opportunity to display your services and attract more potential clients, right? This is something that a lot of companies are not using. A lot of individual users are not using either. I was on it as soon as it came out. I started adding some images. Now LinkedIn dropped an update that kind of allows you to display this information a lot better. So if you were one of the ones that actually took advantage of this, I recommend you, I invite you to go check out your profile again. It might look different and it could definitely benefit whoever is considering you so that your profile stands out more. It also allows you to showcase the service quality, right? The service and rating. So that's something that's also compelling. And then obviously I put here a CTA if you want an expert to do this for you. You can save and optimize your LinkedIn profile now, right? And then we take it to the other topic. So let me go ahead and take you guys back to the presentation. So part two. In part two, as I mentioned, you're probably going to hear some of the things that I just mentioned. So one of the things is highlighting your certifications and skills. So as you guys seen, a lot of the certifications that we have on LinkedIn or are created by this very influential people. Most of them are from Credly, right? Not all of them, but most of them are from Credly. So you want to make sure that once you get that certification on your email, let's say you completed the assessment, you want to be able to display that, right? You want to make sure that people recognize you for completing the course, whether if it's paid or not paid, right? But one of the things that's very important is you want to make sure that you kind of list the skills according to the course you took. So for example, this from JB Sells. Shout out to JB Sells. This guy is great, by the way. If you guys want to see some very like a very packed resources where either you're a manager, whether you're a sales candidate, you can definitely benefit of all the tools that he has. So quick shout out to JB Sells. Um, so for example, two of the courses that I did for him was driving to close uh, and filling the funnel. Right? As you can see, the skills associated to that was social selling, sales training, closing, meeting preparation, sales pipeline management, sales forecasting, objection handling, objection. I added objection handling twice. That's a mistake on me. I'll make sure I fix that. It's good to have mistakes though. Everybody has mistakes, so just make sure you identify them and take action. Messaging, SaaS sales, and then if you look at the filling the funnel is also social selling, also sales training, sales pipeline development, call calling, building personal brand, and sales development. So going back to the certifications, as I mentioned, some of them are going to be Incredly, right? Incredly, it will display all the certifications that you did. Um, I also did one from PartnerStack, right, which is pretty much teaching you how to do the fundamentals of creating partnerships, right? So for those that are promoting through PartnerStack or other affiliate programs, it kind of helps you understand how to hire partners, how to pretty much evaluate them. So it's also something very good as well. Not only for you to generate business off of that, but also build very solid relationships. So that's something very important. And something that you guys can see here is that I'm also using some of the about me that I use on my LinkedIn profile. So I can also display it incredibly in case somebody lands there before they land on my LinkedIn and they can easily match the same person they saw in the moment they go on LinkedIn, right? So it's an invitation that if you guys have a certification on Credly, go back to that profile, log in. Um, you can also take the badge and also add it to your about me or not your about me, your previous job description, and you can include it in there as well as an image or your features section. So there's a lot of things you could do. You can download those certifications if you want to use them in a blog, etc. That's on you. But this goes to show you how your badges are displayed. Obviously, I want to do more badges. I want to get more courses so I can, enrich my knowledge and also for other people to get motivated as well. Um, so this is connected to the skills. So first, you want to select the skills that matches the course, but you also want to make sure that you select your top 3 skills, right? If you look at LinkedIn, LinkedIn doesn't allow you to show all the skills you have. I've seen people that have over 30, 25 skills. If you put yourself in the recruiter's position, they're not going to consider you because you do everything, right? They're going to consider you because you're specialized in a skill set. So what I recommend is if you're applying for a specific job, let's say a sales role, customer support role, customer success, you want to make sure that those 3 skills that you want to be hired for are highlighted. I'll show you guys in a bit how to organize them, but the idea is that you're showcasing the ones that match the opportunity you're chasing or you're going after. So very straightforward, as you can see here. There's moments where the sales development was something that I learned on both courses. So it's something that's going to show, as you can see here, filling the funnel. But sales development was also something that was also included on driving to close. So there might be a chance where the company is going to back up the certification by displaying the company information. So it's always good to back up any skill either to a certification or a company you're working for. Um, the second thing that I wanted to talk about on this part two is listing your services. So as I mentioned on the quick interactive demo is if you manage to list your services, people know you're the person that provides those services. Straightforward, right? And if they see ratings of the service that you're providing, they know that you're capable to deliver. The same way as case studies, the same way as um, customer testimonials, you want to make sure you display all your success, right? People want to see what you can deliver on. They don't want to see very creative things if it really leads to nothing, right? So for example, in this case, if I have a buyer or let's say a company that's looking for an agency, they can easily go here and they can cut through the noise and discover a wide range of agencies that they can look up to. And we're saving them time. They can evaluate across different agencies and now they see the value. And then obviously, if you want to send an invitation for them to rate you, you can do that as well. Uh, One of the things about service reviews is that people can't just go on your service and give you a rating. You have to make sure you invite the person to give you the rating. So that's one thing that's very important as well. I would also show you how to send the invitation after this quick presentation. So using targeted hashtags. I remember last time when I was trying to show you guys this, it didn't allow me to actually model what I wanted to show because there was some issues with LinkedIn. It wasn't on me, it was on LinkedIn. The fact that the hashtags that I'm trying to use, you want to make sure that you select the top four, right? You don't want to go above four hashtags or else your content. I'm not going to say, I'm not confident enough to say your content won't be seen, but it looks a lot more legit when you're trying to target the right audience because every hashtag has an audience. So if you notice, when I click on a hashtag, it's going to take you to a whole community of people that follow that hashtag, that are creating content under that hashtag. So you want to make sure that there's a lot of people behind that. And it's people that you can also model content from, right? If you're talking about outsourcing, there's a million things you could talk about when it comes to outsourcing, but that's one of the best ways to find it, right? If you're finding hashtags that are aligned with the stuff you do or offer. Engaging with groups and newsletters. So one of the things that I've seen is a lot of people are not joining groups, right? For me, the best way I can leverage groups is actually seeing how people interact, what opportunities they bring in. Because there's moments where I go in a group and I see a company that's hiring. They never hired in Latin America. So I can easily open up a conversation. And since we're in the same group, the person feels like, okay, maybe I can give them a chance and we could talk. And then that's when they start consuming the rest of the content. So groups are a good way to start building those connections, building those relationships, or however you want to call it. I call them real relationships, right? Real relationships. Um, that's on you though, right? Also engaging on newsletters. Newsletters are very important, not only because like I mentioned, there's good things to absorb, but it keeps you consuming all the content from one platform. So you're not all over the place. But there's some newsletters that you can definitely benefit of. There's a feature that I've been posting a lot and a lot of people haven't really took advantage of is the fact that you have an immersive reader, right? You can now grab a newsletter and pretty much hear it like an ebook, like an Amazon or whatever, and you can actually consume the article a lot better. What I suggest, and it's something that Alex Hormozy recommended, is read it while you're listening to it, and most likely you're gonna consume a lot of the context that the article has to offer for you. So that's something I definitely recommend is make sure you are engaging with those newsletters. There's very good content out there. There's different content for everybody, so don't think you might not find something related to your topic. Just do the right research. Um, and I'm gonna walk you guys through a quick hack that I did to find information that you might have thought went missing on LinkedIn. Let me just take note of that. Perfect. So group engagement, like I mentioned, you want to make sure you leverage those groups where you have those thought leaders or people that are looking for opportunities. And this kind of combines with, hey, if this is the only platform that allows me to see where people work at, what I can solve for them, what do they solve for other people, it's very easy to just see something that's compelling in a conversation, a combo, or a topic, whatever, and then you go in their profile and actually like diagnose what they do, right? And then that makes it very easy for you to create content on it, or create report, so that when that person receives your message, is unique to them and they actually have an easier chance to engage with you. Uh, One thing that I wanted to mention as a bonus is job description. So the job description, this is the job description. This is shout out to Danny Agudelo who changed my mind. I wanted to compile everything in the about me, but I realized I got to give it for both sides, right? People that want to read it quick, but also people that want to go in each job post and actually get everything you did or you delivered on, because it helps you more than what it takes from you, right? So, for example, here's an example of when I used to work back at Apollo. I worked there for a year and a month, or a month. Oh no, yeah, a year and a month. Um, I actively manage over 150 email interactions daily, ensuring shift and accurate resolution of issues. And also, I was the first batch in Latin America hires, pioneering the company's expansion strategy outside of the U.S. So notice how I added two little achievements for me, because like this company is worth, I think it's over 150 million now. So it's great to see that. This is something that obviously Cloud has definitely helped with, but being part of the first batch of Apollo definitely is something that you want to share out there. It also can help other companies consider it, right? Companies that are looking to get similar results that they did, considering Latin America talent. So this is an invitation. If you're a hiring company looking at this, if you want to achieve similar results to what Apollo did, I recommend you to explore this region. There's a lot of hardworking people. There's salaries that can make more sense for your budget, and definitely you can find people that are ready to go, ready to deliver. Um, and obviously, this is an area where you can get a better quality of life. So people are eager to jump on a great opportunity and do the most they can, right? So let me go ahead and go back to my screen. I want to present something for you guys. So guys, this is my LinkedIn profile. I know you guys probably seen it. The ones that haven't, let me go ahead and use this. Okay. So notice here how it's basically everything that you guys saw in their interactive demo, as well as the presentation. One of the things that I wanted to share is the services, right? So when somebody comes here, they can see a description of the service that you offer. Ours is focused more on lead generation. But if you look at the ratings, you can see all the ratings that everybody did that benefited from what we had to offer, right? Uh, there's this thing called, sorry, let me just make sure. I feel like my camera is hiding most of the stuff in here. Give me 1 second. This might be a good way to show it. So notice how I have this option right here called review status, right? So for example, you have the option to send 20 credits to the people that benefited from your service. And then you can send an invite for them to review. You choose a service, mine says lead generation. You hit next, and then you look for the person that you delivered on that service for, so that they can review the service that you delivered on, right? That's one thing, very straightforward. The idea is that when you're creating the service, you want to be very specific. Does it have a price? where are you located, and then the idea is that you add some images so that it can start displaying the same way I showed you guys, right? Luckily, I have 5 out of 5. Uh, if you are a company that's looking for agencies, feel free to take advantage of this, and I'll be sure to send you a quick review status of the rating, right? Um, the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is search. So, for example, let me open up some content. I have a lot of content. One of the things that I like to do, I'm not, oh, it doesn't display the bookmarks. Okay, no worries. So let me just find a way to work around this. So, for example, look at this topic, right? If you look at this post, it's gonna get to the moment where you posted so many things after that that either your LinkedIn is gonna crash if you want to look for that content again, or it's gonna be hard to find. So leverage your search bar, right? So for example, if I want to look for this again, just find the topic or try to remember the topic, or if you have it documented as I shared, you can easily go search for that post and it will come up as you can see right here, right? So this is something that whenever I'm trying to look for content, I'll give you a quick example how I leveraged it, right? So if I go to my profile here, if I go to my images or videos, what you call it, so for example, images, right? There's a lot of images in here, right? But let's say I wanted to grab, let's say this one, right? I can't grab the link of when I posted this, right? So the easiest way for you to find this again is literally grabbing the topic or the title or the first thing you said, and then automatically populate. And then you could just grab the link and it'll take you directly to the post that I did 4 months ago. So leverage your search. Don't only leverage it to find the content that was hidden, but also leverage it so that you can find the people you're looking after for. Either you're prospecting or looking for a job, or there's somebody that somebody recommended and you want to get in talks with them. Leverage your search bar. It'll find your content. It'll find your contacts. So take advantage of that. One quick recap that I wanted to definitely mention is whenever you're using your feature section, which is this session, you want to make sure that if you want people to land directly on the link, you remove the description, right? The description is not only going to help you have them land there quicker, as you can see here. If there was a description in this post, it will do a second stop. So let me just do this real time. I'll look for a creator so that you guys get a better idea of what I'm trying to say here. Let me go ahead and open. I have a list of a whole bunch of sales creators or sales influencers. So let me just open that, and then I feel like I could easily show you guys an example on how that could benefit you in case you want to add a booking link and whatnot. So let me do my research. Just a second. I want to find a nice solid profile where you guys see how we can help this person, right? Uh, it's hard to find. I feel like a lot of people are applying that now, but I know I'll find one. I know I'll find one. One second. It's actually harder to find now because the fact that everybody's taking that tip now. It's not only been shared across my channel, but it's also been shared across other sales influencers. So I feel like everybody's already applying that. So that's good. I feel like a few months back, I will see everybody with a description on the feature section, so it will make it hard. So for example, let's look at this guy right here. I found one. Someone. Let me go ahead and present. And by the way, I'll make sure to reach out to this creator to make sure that he's aware of that. And that's another way to build relationships on LinkedIn. Find little things that people might not be aware about so you can help them, right? So this guy, he has 29,000 followers. And if you go to their feature section, as you can see, hey, 1 meeting per day script, but he has a description. Grab your copy, dun, dun. If somebody clicks here, notice how it adds a second stop. The idea is that people go directly, right? So now I have to click two different places for people to actually land where I want them to land, right? If you go on my profile, I'll show you guys again. If I click on the featured, it'll take me right in the website. So that's something very cool for you guys to take into account. So I'll give you a quick recap. You want to make sure you leverage your search bar. You want to be able to optimize your feature section so that you have the option to take full advantage of your profile. This is where you showcase all the stuff you have. Um, Let me go ahead and go back to the presentation. Let me go back to the presentation. I'll go ahead and do a quick run up of the information that I just presented so that it's fresh in you guys' mind, all right? All right, guys. So, so we want to make sure we highlight our certifications. We want to make sure we highlight our skills because that's the only thing that's really going to back us up whenever this recruiters are looking for us and we're not looking for them, right? You want to be able to list your services, as I mentioned with the little tweaks I gave you guys. Um, the idea is that people see it compelling. Other people feel like you're the right person to actually solve for what they have to solve, and also using targeted hashtags. Don't go above four. Try to be very specific. Try to follow all the hashtags that are related, and then you start picking and choosing, right? Because there's a lot of hashtags, but if there's no community behind it, nobody's watching it. So take that into account. Um, Using and engaging with the groups and the newsletters, use that, leverage that to prospect, leverage that to build relationships. Very important. It could definitely boost up some of the effort that you're doing through LinkedIn, right? So, uh, dun, dun, job description. So this will be the moment for the Q and A's. This is Mauro will be joining now to kind of like give us some of the questions that people are asking so that we could go ahead and address them real time. So Mauro, feel free to chime in. Um,
Hey, hey Dave, how's it going? Thanks for all the insight that you shared here with the community. On the remote job community, I've been asking the most active members. I have a couple of questions, and the first one is how do I effectively highlight skills that are not directly certified but are crucial to my professional role?
Got it. So, for example, if you're on budget, you don't want to spend too much on certifications right now, but you do have the skill set, whether you learn on YouTube, you learn on TikTok, or other social channels. Just what I would do is the same way you evaluate the things you want to do on a day is list them down, see what kind of skills match the opportunities that you're looking for. So, for example, if I'm applying for a job that they're looking for this exact skills, what I suggest people is go and update that while you're applying for that job. In case you want to focus on another job, feel free to change the skills so that those recruiters find you based on those skills. So try to be smart with that because, like I said, your LinkedIn profile kind of showcase exactly what you do. So that's what I recommend. It has worked for me, and it has worked a lot of few people that I had conversations with who also asked the same question.
Great. So basically, highlight the skills that are relevant for the job description that you're after, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's one way to see it. Or if you just only, if you're close to only the same job opportunity, then leave the top three that are related to what you're doing. So if you're doing sales, call calling, CRM, you want to make sure that you're capable to update information in the CRM. Also, for example, outbound, right? Outbound, inbound. What are you best at, right? So those are the kind of things that I will highlight, right? If you're doing customer support, you want to make sure that you can email, right? You want to make sure that you also use a CRM, and that kind of covers that question, right?
Great. The next question is, how do I identify which hashtags are the most effective for my industry on LinkedIn?
Perfect. So the first thing that I would do is also leverage ChatGTP. Ask ChatGTP, hey, what are the top 20 hashtags related to my industry? And then you go at that in LinkedIn and then start seeing what is the amount of people behind that hashtag. And then you're going to start listing down, hey, I got 20 hashtags. There's only 20 people in one hashtag. There's 500,000 people in the other one. Then you start prioritizing, right? One of the things that few leaders have recommended is sometimes you want to start building audience on a hashtag. So for example, if the hashtag doesn't have traffic, you can start using those hashtags to start building authority and community behind those hashtags, right? So for example, one of the ones that I saw the other day was "Show Me You Know Me," right, from Samantha McKenna, I think that's her name, from Sam's House, and I noticed that she used a hashtag called "Show Me You Know Me," right, but she abbreviated, and I noticed not a lot of people are using it, but the ones that are using it, they know what they're talking about, so you can easily go and open up a conversation with somebody that's related to that topic. So I found that very very slick, but you want to make sure you do it at the appropriate time, right? If this is the moment where you're trying to push out your content, don't do that. But if you're already established an authority, then start trying new hashtags that are new.
And is there any maximum amount of hashtags per post that you recommend?
Four,
Okay.
four. There's moments where you want to add the hashtags at the bottom, but there's moments you're going to use the hashtags within the copy. So if you're going to use hashtags within the copy at one, just remove it from the bottom. So for example, if I'm going to use four, but I'm going to mention one in the copy, remove one out of the bottom part. So that's what worked for me, right? I don't know how it will work for everybody else. I've seen people that they have so much authority that they don't even use hashtags, right? But then they get all the endorsements or all the comments and likes. So it's all based on the authority level you have on whatever channel you're using, right? But in this case, LinkedIn, I recommend four.
Great. Thanks. So the next question is, um, what are the most common mistakes people make when trying to promote their professional brand on LinkedIn?
I would say pitching the company and pitching what they do. Choose either or, right? Or if you're gonna use both, make sure that you do it in a way focus on what you believe in, right? Because if you're selling your personal services plus the company stuff, people are not gonna know what you're good at. So I would say choose either or use it as the story behind what you're currently offering, so that it can complement your personal stuff with the company stuff. So, for example, for me, one of the things that kind of like bottlenecked me when I started doing content is I wanted to pitch everything, but people don't want to feel like a target. They just want to feel like you're the person that I should speak to. So if somebody feels like they're being targeted, I don't think they want to open up a conversation as smooth as possible.
Actually, you make me think that it's related with what you shared before in regards to the image, to the profile
Uh huh.
picture, that people wants to talk with human beings, right? And if you know
Exactly.
that someone is going to pitch you something, you don't want to get noisy.
Correct.
So,
And I've seen
thank
people that they use their profile picture as a company logo, and
for real.
like yeah, I've seen a lot. So it's like feedback to those. Make sure you put the image. I want to feel like I'm talking to the person, not the company. If I want to talk to the company, I know how to find the company on LinkedIn. I could do that, but I want to talk to the person behind the idea, right? So one of the things I highly recommend.
Thanks, Dave. So those are the questions from the community. If you guys want to ask questions for the next feedback and advice session, feel free to join the Facebook group, also the WhatsApp community. I'm going to be sending those links here in the comments so you can join for the future sessions.
Perfect. So one of the things that I wanted to do, Mara, before we jump off, is I want to give you guys a brief invitation to join the Cloud Test Marketplace. Whether you're a buyer, whether you're a candidate, it's as easy as going to shop.cloudtest.com. Here, you're going to see profiles of candidates um, that you can consider for your next hire. You can also see a list of agencies. But the idea here is, guys, if you want to get a job, whether remote, um, and you're looking for a compelling salary, feel free to create your profile feel free to have all your information as detailed as possible to enable us to help you. So that's my invitation. Remember, shop.cloudtest.com. And I want to end this with a brief thank you, guys. I know your time is valuable. And for those that want to apply these things, feel free to reach out to me, ask me some questions, and I'll be more than happy to help and guide you guys through. So, guys, David Majura here, the demand generation department at CloudTest. If you need any help with your profile, if you're kind of confused about all the content you've seen, somebody saying this, somebody saying that, feel free to reach out to me. I'll save you some extra time. And thank you guys for being here. Take care.